Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to do my own personal ranking of the Friday the 13th franchise, from my least favourite to my most favourite. If you would like me to do any other rankings of other horror films, please let me know, leave a comment down below, and let's get straight into this video. And coming in at number 12 is the 9th installment of the Friday franchise, which is Jason Goes to Hell, The Final Friday. This one is personally the worst one for me out of all the franchise. It is absolutely terrible. It's probably the worst for most people out there because he's in it for 5 minutes of the film. He's in it for like 2 minutes at the beginning, gets blown up, and that's about it. You get to like 10 minutes near the end, he's in it for about 4 or 5 minutes. That is all you see of Jason. It is not a Friday film. Let's be honest. They started adding random stuff to the story with a Necronomicon from Evil Dead, which was just pointless. He's got a family relative. How would you not know you related to him? Like, come on, really? It is all in all just the worst thing ever that they made for Friday the 13th. And coming in at number 11, we have got Friday the 13th Part 5, The New Beginning. Okay, let's be honest, this is also not the best one compared to Jason Goes to Hell. They're both bad movies, but I mean, I know this one has a fake Jason in it, but compared to that other film, at least we've got a Jason who's in the actual movie. Now, I know it's not the real Jason, I know it's a guy called Roy, but at least we've got a Jason. But it's still a terrible Friday the 13th movie. And coming in at number 10, we have Friday the 13th Jason Takes Manhattan. Now, this one is only rated so low, because let's be honest, Jason didn't take Manhattan. He was in Manhattan for one shot. The rest was in Canada, of any time they were off the boat, and the whole film is literally on the boat. This film should literally just be called Jason Takes a Boat, or Jason Takes a Cruise, because literally it's just the whole time on the SS Lazarus. What's the point? It's not Jason. He doesn't take Manhattan. He never takes Manhattan, except for one scene that lasts about a minute. That's all the time he was in Manhattan. So it was just basically a clickbait of a film. It was alright. It still had Kane Hodder in the role, which was good, but he just didn't take Manhattan, so it's just a complete lie, let's be honest. Coming in at the 9th place is Jason X. What can I say about this film? It is, you can kind of tell, it's a late 90s, early 2000 movie because he stuck everything in space. And he always stuck Jason in space because they were trying to develop Freddy vs. Jason, because they did tease that at the end of Jason Goes to Hell. But they just wanted to put something out there to keep people knowing about Jason, but it just didn't really work for me. It had good kills. Let's say it had one of the best kills in the whole franchise, but they made him robotic, let's be honest. I mean, it had Kane Hodder in it, but Kane Hodder is the best Jason out there, but they keep stiffing him with really bad Jason movies, let's be honest. But I'd still rank it higher than all the others. And coming in at number 8, we have Freddy vs. Jason. Now, a lot of people may hate me for ranking it so low because you've got Freddy vs. Jason, obviously. But they made Jason so dopey. They made him into Frankenstein, let's be honest. And the whole thing near the end, good fight scenes, but Freddy would not whip him that badly in the real world. Dream sequence, fair enough. In the real world, Jason would just absolutely annihilate him. And the acting in it was just, it wasn't the best. especially from a movie in the early 2000s as well. You'd expect a bit of good acting, especially for a film that was so big, but I just did not enjoy it. I enjoyed the end fight scene, I enjoyed the dream sequence fight scene, and that's probably about it, let's be honest. It's just not really a good movie. And coming in at number 7 we have Friday the 13th Part 1. Now I know a lot of people are going to be really annoyed that I put this so low, since it is the OG and what actually started the franchise. I'm not going to lie, I do enjoy it. I enjoyed the Pamela character. I enjoyed the whole film. It is a good film. But I wouldn't put it higher than the rest of this list. No offence to people who are massive fans of the original. I'm a big fan of the original because it literally started the whole franchise. But it was just a whole kind of gave me the Halloween vibes, because that's what it was. It was just basically an instant copy of Halloween. If I may be wrong to some people, but in my eyes, it literally, that's all it is. Coming in at number 6 we have Friday the 13th Part 2. This is another one that I've ranked quite low, but to be fair, I know Jason's introduced into it properly and fully and we get to see him, but it's a very underdeveloped Jason. Like, we're only just getting to learn him, and I just don't enjoy this Jason as much as the other Jasons which are coming up next. But all in all, it was a good film. It was better than, I would say better than the original, but it was quite similar. They were both near enough the same film, except from obviously Jason didn't get his head chopped off. But he was just very undeveloped, so I prefer the other movies which are going to come up next. Okay, before I get into my top 5, I would please like to ask, if whoever's watching this, if you're enjoying this video, can you please subscribe? I'm just trying to get to 100 subs. I know it's not a lot, but if you can, subscribe, and can you please leave a like? And coming in at number 5 we have the 2009 Friday the 13th remake. Okay, so I know this is where the true horror fans are going to be a little bit pissed, because I've done absolute blasphemy and I've put the remake before the original and the sequel. Yes, I have done that, and yes, I do like the remake more, right? But hear me out. I like that they made Jason more of a brutal person. It made more sense of how he appears and disappears with the tunnels underneath. Yes, there was some parts about this film that were quite boring. I wouldn't say, well, not boring, but you know what I mean. But I would still rank it higher than the original and the sequel, because there's no behind the camera POV looks of looking through the eyes of the killer, watching people. We saw him, we saw what happened to his mum at the beginning, we saw the sack over his head, we saw him get his mask. I'm happy with that. The kills were good. He killed him in a more hunter type way. They made him smarter. Definitely smarter than he was in part 2. 100% smarter than he fucking was in Freddy vs Jason, let's be honest. But all in all, it is in my top 5, and it is something I would go back to in the horror franchise, in the Friday the 13th franchise, and I would rewatch it. And coming in at number 4 we have Friday the 13th Part 3. Part 3 I really did enjoy, because we got more of a developed Jason than Part 2, and then it was first introduced his hockey mask into the film instead of wearing that stupid potato head sack thing that he was wearing. Oh my god. But the only problem I had with the film, even though I've ranked it so high, the only problem was the overuse of the 3D things for pointless things. It did have the most fakest head that you'll ever see in any of the movies, and there's one scene with the worst acting you'll ever see in our movies, but I do still rate this higher than all the other films. And coming in at number 3 is Friday the 13th Part 7, The New Blood. A lot of people might not like where I've ranked this film, but I do really enjoy this film. It is the best looking Jason out of the whole franchise in any of the movies plus the remake. It's the best way he's looked, plus it's Kane Hodder's first time as playing Jason, which is the best Jason. I do have a few problems with the film, but I do like that it's kind of like Jason versus Carrie, even though it's a really knockoff Carrie. But all in all, it's a good film. It is in my top 3, and it's one of the better films of the whole franchise. Coming in at number 2, we have Jason Lives, Friday the 13th, Part 6. I do really like Part 6. It's not as good as the one that I've got as my number 1, but to be fair, I do like this film mainly because this is the film that mainly got me into horror films, because this was the first proper time I started watching horror films. This was the first one I properly watched, and it's what got me into horror films. This is probably why I've ranked it so high, but also it is a good Friday the 13th film. We have the camp. There's actually children in the camp for once. In any of the other movies, there's never been kids in the camp. We've got a good Jason. It's the first time we see zombified Jason. We have a good Tommy. The one from Part 5, let's be honest, he was just a bit psychotic, but this one's a bit more chilled. Way better actor. We have a great final girl, and we have a great ending. So all in all, this is definitely a second best Friday the 13th. Coming in at number 1, we have Friday the 13th, Part 4, the final chapter. This is all in all the best Friday the 13th movie out there. Let's be honest. It has a great Jason. It has a great final girl. It's got great kills. It has one of the best off-screen kills in the whole franchise. I know you can't see it, but you see the silhouette and you see the shadow, and it's probably the best one out there. We've got the first time we're very introduced to Tommy as a kid and see why he's messed up through the films, obviously. But all in all, this is definitely my top 1 of the Friday the 13th franchise. And that is it. That is my rankings of the whole Friday the 13th franchise. So if you enjoyed the video, can you please leave a like and please subscribe. We're trying to get to 100 subs. No, it's not a lot of subs, but just trying to get to 100 to try and get there. So leave a like, subscribe, and peace.